the way you have kids that have like middle school is sixth, seventh, eighth grade. Did you know you have some kids that been to five middle schools before they high school? And that learning is so broken, it's hard for the school system to keep up and catch it. That's a community issue. We got to look at having critical child care services. We got to also look at wraparound services for these parents. We got to also make sure that we are taking care of the people that we need to be taking care of. We can't just rely on just the schools do the bare minimum. We can't say, oh, the parent didn't do this, parent didn't do that. I get it. I'm all for parent accountability. I really am. But I'm also for, too, being realistic and being knowing what time it is. I'm not going to act like, it's easy to say, oh, they just got married, they just did this, they just did that. That's easier said than easier done. Okay, what we're going to do that these kids are here now. These kids need services. We can't send these kids back to the dollar store or the Kmart or the Sears where we got the kids from. We got to make sure that we're taking care of these kids. And that's why I always tell people I'm all about playing families. I'm all about making sure we do things right by the book. That we make sure that it's right by the book to within reason. Put that there. Right by the book to within reason where we're taking care of business. Because she's right. We do need child care. Because a lot of parents do have to work. I know about parents working two jobs now to make ends meet. I get it. The cost of living is going up. Food costs are going up at the grocery store. I know right now we have a chicken shortage on top of this gas shortage. So we got some things that because of these shortages, prices are going up and people are looking at how do I survive with what I got to do. So there's a lot of things that are hitting our table right now. And we have to make sure we're planning our critical infrastructure that we are making sure that we're looking at all angles. Now, I understand we would never be able to look at every single scenario, every single angle. Like I used to say with my disclaimers, we don't have every fact, every stat, every case study, every report, every panel discussion, every commentary piece. It's just so much out there that nobody's going to have it. Even if you follow this issue verbatim, tooth and nail from sun up to sundown, there's still going to be some things that you just don't know that's going on. There are studies that are being released that a lot of times by the time they hit the public, we don't know what's going on. We don't. It's like it's a year or two old because a lot of times they just shit around academic circles and the academic circles that paid for the money, then they leak it out to the public. So we have to make sure that these children are taken care of because if not, then we can't get mad when the children's in 12th grade and they can't read beyond a 5th grade level. We got to look at these summer camp programs. It's summertime right now, and you get to find a summer camp for your child to go to, and I hope you don't throw these inner city crappy camps that you say, oh, it's $25 a week, and your kids in there watching all these kids roll joints and shake the butts and everything, and cuss counselors out and all that other foolishness. We got to look at what programs are available for these youth. I'm tired of seeing these programs are nothing but this glorified babysitters. You got kids sitting around here eating. You got kids sitting around here watching TV. You got kids sitting around here being bullied. You got kids sitting around here just not being stimulated at all. I used to hate summer camp when I was younger. There's maybe very few camps I enjoyed. And the camps I enjoyed were the camps we did stuff with. That I had kids that were on my level. I had kids that were higher than me, to where we got to go out there and do some stuff. I didn't like those camps where I felt we were just sitting around doing nothing. That it was just a waste of time. I'd rather sit at home and do nothing. I can read a book. I can go in my own backyard. I can enjoy my house. I ain't got to deal with all these hooligan kids and stuff. I want to make sure that I'm enjoying myself. If I enjoy myself, I used to with my friends, I'm not going to camp. Because these camps are just not enriching me. I thought that they was just child care more than anything. So I said, I'm not doing no more camps. And that's when you start paying attention to your children's needs and behaviors. Start talking to them. Have dinner with them. Ask them questions. Find out what makes them tick. Find out what's going on with them. You'll be amazed. A lot of parents didn't know their kid's favorite color or what their child really wants to be. Because we're so caught up in speaking for them, doing everything for them, that we forget they have a mind of their own. And we have to ask ourselves, what can we do to make this better? Now, granted, I don't have any children yet, but I know we're mentoring and doing different things. I know this is kind of putting me back into different programs, different mindsets. This is where I say, okay, that's why I always ask kids, what do you want? I always tell parents, ask your child what they want. Don't just assume. Because you may be amazed, we could be really thinking wrong about a lot of things. That's why we have to make sure that everything's in order, everything is structured, everything is functional. Because I can't deal with dysfunctional. I can't deal with foolishness. So as you see, I just jumped right all up into this. We must prioritize child care as an essential service and provide adequate funding for child care programs. We need efforts to target to help recruit, train, and qualify a child care workforce. We must offer a minimum wage for early educators as a thriving wage to ensure our educational institutions have the programs necessary to maintain and support a skilled and professional workforce pipeline. If we value our children, if we want a full recovery, then we must value this workforce. This is going on up here in Alaska, which is probably going on in your state as well too, because we cannot pay the people. This is the day I get. We always about pay parity and pay disparities and all this other stuff. We want the people that protect us. We want people to answer 911 calls. We want child care workers, garbage workers, all the people who are mission critical. You want to pay them the least, and that's not right. We have to invest. These are the people who we expect to be there when nobody else is there. When you call 911, you want somebody to answer the call. And you hope the person wants to be at work so they're alert and be able to do what needs to be done. B, you want the fire department, the police department, the sheriff's office, to be able to come out and respond as well. And you want to hope they want to be there. Then when we have child care needs for our children, we want to make sure that our children are in good hands. That they have an undivided person. We want to make sure that our teachers are being paid. We want to make sure that our public sector workers we have to reinvest back into them. From our children to our seniors to our nurses, aides, the things that we value, we got to show more than just hearts. We got to show with dollars. It's top of the hour here on We the People, the podcast here on Fusion Radio and your local syndicated partners. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a little music break, as we always do around here. I'm going to play about 3 songs for you. Lots to take in. Don't go anywhere. I'm Dominic Huff. It is Saturday, May 15th, 2021. You're listening to Fusion Radio, your syndicated partners, We the People, the podcast.
Go ahead, man. Here, have $1. In fact, no, brother man, here, have 2. $2 means a snack for me, but it means a big deal to you. Be strong, serve God only. Know that if you do, beautiful heaven awaits. As to pull my rope for the first time, I saw a man with no clothes, no money, no plate, Mr. Winter. That's his name. No one ever knew his name, cause he's a no one. Never thought twice about spending on an old bum until I had the chance to really get to know one. Now that I know him, to give him money isn't charity. He gives me some knowledge, I buy him some shoes. And to think blacks spend all their money on big colleges, still most of y'all come out confused. Go ahead, Mr. Winter. Go ahead, Mr. Winter. Mr. Wendell has freedom, a free that you and I think is dumb. Free to be without the worries of a quick to diss society, for Mr. Wendell's a bum. His only worries are sickness and an occasional harassment by the police in their chase. Uncivilized we call him, but I just saw him eat off the food we waste. Civilization, are we really civilized? Yes or no? Who are we to judge when thousands of innocent men could be brutally enslaved or killed over a racist grudge? Mr. Wendell has tried to warn us about our ways, but we don't hear him talk. Is it his fault when we've gone too far and we got too far? Cause on him we walk. Mr. Wendell, a man, a human in flesh, but not by law. I feed you dignity to stand with pride. Realize that all in all, you stand tall. Go ahead, Mr. Wendell. Mr. Wendell, yeah. Yeah, Mr. Wendell. Mr. Wendell, yeah. Lord. Mr. Wendell. sign upon the door. Say, don't disturb this groove. Just a way to tell you that I'm so into you. And the feeling's so real. Don't disturb this groove. 'Cause I want to tell you that I'm so into you. And the feeling's so real. Don't disturb this groove. 'Cause I need you, baby. I need you, baby. I need you, don't you? 'Cause I need you, baby. I need you, baby. When the feeling's so real, don't disturb this groove. 'Cause we're grooving, baby. We're grooving, baby. And I love it, baby. The way you do things to me, baby. And I love it, baby. Love it, baby. Love it, baby. Rena,
We're back. Hour number 2 is 13 at the top of the hour, 13 at the top of the hour. As you see, I'm trying to get the liquid energy going up over here. Doing this every week, talk about stuff is definitely a labor of love. Definitely takes a lot of energy out of you because I'm trying to make sure that we're talking about what needs to be talked about and doing things in a unique perspective. So, what do you think about what you're hearing? You can email me at office@10thamendmentmedia.com. That's office@10thamendmentmedia.com. 10th is spelled out. Let us know your thoughts, comments. I promise you this website and all this is going to be ready very soon. Try to get what we need to get going so you can hear all the rebroadcasts of this show, see what you missed, see what things that we have going on. We'll start blogging about what we're doing. So as I tell you, you're on a ride with us. We're going to stand up this show and really take it to some new levels. So if you have ideas for show topics, you want to be a guest, you love me, you hate me, just let me know. Office@10thamendmentmedia.com. That's office@10thamendmentmedia.com. And 10th is spelled out. For the last hour, for those of you all who just now joined us, welcome aboard. We talked about child care and COVID-19. We talked about 16 states cutting off unemployment. We talked about personal accountability and responsibility. So we're kind of, as we're getting, COVID-19 is getting behind us, or the coronavirus, whatever you choose to call it. We're kind of getting to the point where it is a thing of the past, but we know we still got to be careful. I know everybody wants to get out here and do things this summer. I definitely welcome and encourage you all to get out the house. I definitely get out there and enjoy yourselves. Go to your parks, please exercise. I'm not sure where you stand on the vaccine, so I always tell people, when people ask me about their different media outlets, I say do what you feel is best for you. Because by doing that, I want you to make sure that you're taking your health into your own hands. Please do your research. Please do your homework. Don't listen to social media. Don't listen to conspiracy theories, even though people call me one. Know the pros and cons about what you're doing with this, and do what's the best decision for you when it comes to the COVID-19 vaccine. Speaking of the COVID-19 vaccine, Blue Cross Blue Shield issued a report back in 2019 that came across my desk called The Health of Millennials. And what we're looking at right now is 83% of millennials consider themselves in good or excellent health, with 68% of millennials having a PCP, or a primary care physician, as we call them. So let's talk about this for a minute. Your major health decline, according to this report, starts at the age of 27, and it just goes downhill from there. Now, you got to ask yourself, are you in shape? Now, when I say in shape, this is the thing we tell people. I shout out to Jay Duvall, one of my guys over at Dominant Magazine, about this. We have to make sure that when we say in shape, we're not expecting to be no muscle man, no muscle woman, but really making sure that you really take care of your body. You're eating right, you're drinking your water, you're getting your rest, you're taking your nutrients, you're exercising where you're exercising to maintain your health. I know a lot of people who exercise well, they don't have six packs and big arms. It all depends on what your fitness goals are. But we want to make sure that you're doing some type of physical activity that makes sure you take care of yourself, because I've always said, I saw my late grandmother went from walking to having to use a walker and could barely stand up. My grandfather had a stroke. High blood pressure runs in my family. So I'm trying to do my part to make sure I'm taking care of my body because I understand the elder generation they didn't know any better. They didn't have all the resources that we have now. So we can have a chance as millennials to get in front of this for our cohort to really make sure we know what we're doing. Again, one of the things that you will hear a lot about on this show is empowerment and accountability and responsibility. So when I go to Planet Fitness, I exercise there. I have a trainer, and I'm over there at Planet Fitness on my personal days. And I got to get back in there. I want to go today, but after I leave here, I got to go do a business trip. But we will be back in there tomorrow. Tomorrow, when I got to see the trainer on Monday. It's all about making sure that your body is where you want to be at. Making sure your vitals are there, your blood pressure, your blood sugars, your eyes, your teeth, making sure that your lung capacity. And speaking of lung capacity, I do want to give this PSA. I know the pools be opening back up, the beaches be opening back up. Please learn to swim. If you have not learned to swim, I know some of you all got some of these funds that are circulating around here. Pay for some swimming lessons. Go ahead, make sure you learn how to swim. Learn this summer. So that way because we know about so many drowning deaths that are occurring. So please invest in learning how to swim. So let's go ahead and get more into this report. Now, here are the top 10 conditions affecting millennials: depression, substance abuse, alcohol use, hypertension, hyperactivity, psychotic condition, Crohn's disease, high cholesterol, tobacco use, and diabetes. Now, let's think about this. Mental health, and May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Mental health is a very serious issue that we don't talk about enough because of the taboo and the stigma. And I see a lot of these bullshit memes that say, oh, if you just went to sleep, took a shower, ate more vegetables, you'll feel much better. And I'm not going to say yeah or nay to that because maybe there is some truth to that. Mental health is not my expertise, so I'm not going to give advice on that. But some people need treatment. And there's nothing wrong with treatment. There's nothing wrong with going to the doctor. See, I get the fact that there's so much distrust of the medical industry. But we cannot, this is for my men out here, we cannot take care of our yards, our cars, and our property better than we do our bodies. We cannot do that. We have to make sure that our body has the same priority that we're doing. Case in point, I remember a meme that pointed this out years ago, and then something it's an old age adage. Some of you all are very adamant about what type of gas you put in your car. Oh, it's gonna be this gas. I'm gonna get the high tech gas. Got to come from this gas station. Oh, I ain't putting that cheap shit in my car. But then you go into a crappy restaurant putting crappy food in your body. Priorities, folks. Priorities. We have to love our bodies just as much as we love our things. You can always buy new things, but you can't always buy a new body. Here's something else. We can't. This is something we all had to hear. We cannot neglect our health to get our wealth. Because if we do, you will spend your wealth trying to restore your health. That's something I get. We all hustling, we all grinding, we all doing things. Ain't nobody perfect. We all doing stuff. There are some people that are better in the gym than I am. They go there every day. They are on top of it. They got their schedule. They're eating right. They're following their diet orders. They're doing what they need to do. But I tell people, it's not all about matching numbers. It's everybody started from different standpoints. He may have to lose 50 pounds. You may only lose 5. So, again, we're not starting the same point. You have high blood pressure. He doesn't. So we have to look at, it's not about a race. It's about everybody's going to get to the same place, but on different speeds. It's all about staying in your lane. And that's something that we don't do a good job of staying in our lane. Because we're too busy trying to get in somebody else's lane where we think it's better to the left, we think it's better to the right, instead of say, okay, let me do what I do in my own arena. But when I look at this, we have a lot of issues that are coming up. Let's talk about, how does this happen? Millennials are having a lot of issues right now because we got to think about we are so sedentary. How many of you all sit in front of a computer all day? And I'm not talking about this COVID-19 coronavirus stuff, but you're in front of a computer all day. And I know being in my field, you can sit at the desk all day and not realize it. Let's say, got a little ass around you and stuff. And then, your stomach started bulging out. Then you realize, man, I'm getting a little big as a house. You're eating all day. You're putting stuff in your mouth because we got so much we're trying to do. We're multitasking. We're getting up. As soon as we get out of bed, we're jumping in that shower. Then we're jumping in that shower. Then we're sitting there and say, okay, I eat something on the go. Or I eat later. Or by the time we eat, I'm eating something out of a brown sack. I'm not necessarily a brown sack, but a paper sack in a fast food restaurant or a little plastic bag where, depending on if you get a little take out plate. It's not necessarily the most healthiest thing. Again, we're all guilty of this. It's either high salt, high sugar, high cholesterol, high trans fats, whatever it is. We're too busy to cook. We're too busy, we're so used to eating the candy bar instead of eating a piece of fruit. We're so busy drinking drinks instead of getting enough water in me. And some people argue about that gallon of water is too much. Again, I'm not here to argue health points. I'm just touching this at a surface level conversation from where I'm going as a wake up call for us to get healthy and for us to do what we need to do with our bodies. Because if we don't do what we do with our bodies, there are too many. I remember years ago there was a guy that was real big in Washington, D.C. His name escapes me. You all probably know who he is. A big time activist up there. This is before Black Lives Matter came out. He died of a heart attack. He was in his 30s. Fred Beard, reading off what's happened, died in his early 50s. Nell Carter, she died in her early 50s. We just lost DMX. We lost, what's his name? Craig Mack. We lost Craig Mack a couple of years ago. We lost another rapper not too long ago. And that rapper escapes me right now who just died. So these guys are very young. And as black men, we have the shortest life expectancy. That is a fact. That's a fact. That's not an opinion. That's not a belief. That's not a wish. That's not what somebody told me. There is statistical data that backs up that claim. Americans are the fattest that we ever are. We're eating a lot of processed food. We're eating a lot of junk. And I'm not saying you can't enjoy your favorite fast food restaurant. I'm not saying that at all. But we got to do it in moderation. When was the last time you had some vegetables? When was the last time you had some fruit? Hell, when was the last time you had some water? When was the last time you did some physical activity? Shout out to Kevin Samuels about this one. I hope the last time you exercised wasn't back in gym class in high school or the PE elective you had to take in college. We got to start doing better, folks. When I see this report that said millennials are very unhealthy, that's not good. I know a lot of it's hereditary. I get that. I know a lot of it's hereditary. But some of it is through our own doing. I read a piece in the Dominic magazine a few years ago that said the two weapons of mass destruction are your knife and your fork. And the guy wrote it, he said, we're eating so much crap, it's ridiculous. And I'm standing up, I know I'm getting the stomach down. It's got to come down a little bit more. So we got work to do. But I lost 15 pounds. I don't say, people are like, where was 15 pounds of bullshit? You should believe how thick my thighs were. But I'm not doing this trying to improve. I'm trying to improve my health, but also work on my looks because I'm sitting here with this camera looking at me. Because I'm doing more media on this side of the world now on top of the writing. So I know this is it's a business investment that I have to start doing. I start making sure when I leave the house, I'm looking presentable. That I'm getting back into the public figure mode, and guess what? Y'all like fat ballers, but y'all don't like fat men. Sorry, I gotta admit that. A lot of y'all, I'm sorry. Y'all, we just, as a guy, we got to keep our weight. I'm not saying you got to be a muscle builder, but we at least got to be we need to be pudgy or average weight or built. We can't be obese. But women, they're doing this whole body shaming and body positivity and stuff, but we're promoting being unhealthy. When did wanting to be healthy become a phobia or become, something toxic? Now I do get it that some folks become zealots. Like, you got these vegan zealots, you got these fitness zealots, you got these zealots for these different diets. people turn into a different religion, and it turns people off. Again, I don't advocate what you should or should not do, but I tell you what I do. But I also tell you to do your homework, do your research, and do what's best for your body. Don't let somebody shame you into doing something that works for them, but let's say it work for you. Because some people have to eat according to their blood type. Some people have to eat meat. Some people have to go vegan. Some people have to watch their sugar intake. Some people can't have all that salt in their day. So you have to, that's again, stay in your lane when it comes to health. And guess what? You don't owe anybody no explanation on why you do what you do. So don't get it twisted. Don't get it caught up. You don't owe anybody an explanation on that. Your body temple is your body temple. As the old saying goes, when I look at myself in the mirror, I want to be able to look. I want to be able to look proudly. I want to be able to be in there. And we have to do more than just get in shape just for the beach. We have to make sure that we're getting in shape for us. We're getting in shape for better health. Because we want to live. We want to be able to do what we need to do. At the gym, I go to the train out there in Stonecrest, a suburb east of Atlanta, one of the newer cities we formed. There's a young lady. She's in this wheelchair. And she's that, I think she's had a bad accident. They do a lot of rehab over there. And I remember she was in her little motorized wheelchair, and the guy throws the ball at her, the little big medicine balls, and she's catching and stuff. And then what she did one day, he had her walking. We got half of a football field inside the thing, how they had the floor meshed out. He had her pushing this thing, standing up, trying to help her restore it. And I looked at her, and I was proud of her. But I said, you know what? That is motivation, and that shows is no excuse. There's a guy with my Facebook group, with my men's group. He's in a wheelchair, and you should see him lifting weights, doing all this stuff, going like this and everything, bump the chair back up there, exercising and stuff. He's showing it's no excuse. See, us able-bodied folks, we can come up with every excuse in the world, but we have to start saying what we need to start doing to make sure we're taking care of ourselves. So we have to make sure that we are really focusing on our body temples. And that's something that we're going to talk a lot more about on this platform. What we want to do, because our bodies are our temples. So it's 1/2 the hour, 1/2 the hour. Just want you to think about that for a minute. I'm going to call it back out. Remember, you have major depression, substance abuse, alcohol, hypertension, hyperactivity, psychotic condition, Crohn's disease, high cholesterol, tobacco use, and type 2 diabetes. Those are the top 10 things that are facing millennials right now. We'll play about 3 songs. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. This is Dominic Huff. You're listening to We the People, the podcast here on Fusion Radio and your local syndicated partners.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. You make me feel like I've been locked out of hell. 'Cause you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven for too long, for too long. Yeah, you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven for too long, for too long. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Can I just stay here? Spend the rest of my days here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Can I just stay here? Spend the rest of my days here. 'Cause you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven for too long.